Let's begin with Hosea verse 1, chapter 1. And it says, "The word of Yahweh that came to Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotam, Ahaz, and Chizkiyahu, kings of Yehudah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel." As we see, by this time, the kingdom of Israel had already divided. Therefore, we see there was a king in Yehudah and a king in Israel. Also, as I always explain, when the Almighty decides to inspire in the prophet or the one who wrote, all those who wrote were prophets in one way or another, but they only call the books of the prophets those who are Yeshayahu, Yirmiyahu, Ezekiel, and the other ones. Yet Torah was Moshe, and then the writings like the Psalms, David, which are prophetical. And so every time that Yahweh, even in the book of Chronicles or wherever in scriptures, he decides to write names, obviously in the historical sense, is to show us what happened and who was part of the events, as well as the genealogies, in order for us to understand how Yahushua HaMashiach fulfilled the prophecies given in Yeshayahu and other parts of scriptures that he had to come through Yahudah, through David. So that was fulfilled. But then there is one could say deeper, because of the way one can get to that revelation, understanding of what Yahweh is telling us through the names themselves, by getting the definition of each of the names. So in this case, since we see that there are several names mentioned in the first verse, we can then translate each of the names and read those definitions together, and then we get a revelation of what Yahweh is telling us there. It's in a similar way of how we can get also revelation through the connection of the numerical value between words and verses. So in this case, using names instead of numbers. So there are many ways in which we can study scriptures in order to get deeper interpretations, deeper revelations, as in this case we're gonna do with these names. So I'm gonna go to the concordance, and the names are Hosea, Beeri, Uzziah, Jotam, Ahaz, Chizkiyahu, Yehudah, which was a place, yet Yehudah is the name of the place and the name of the tribe, so it is a name, so I'm gonna include it. Then Jeroboam, then Joash, and Israel. So in that first verse, we see 10 names, which represents the number 10, celestial perfection. So we have Hosea, which means salvation. Beeri, which means my well of water, like Be'er Sheva. Beeri is my, because of the yud at the end of Be'er. Be'er is a well of water. Then Uzziah, which means my strength is Yahweh. Yotam, which means Yotam actually means he is perfect or complete or upright. Ahaz means he has grasp or a possessing. Then Chizkiah means Yahweh has made strong, or whom Yahweh strengthens. Then we have Yehudah, which means the praise of Yahweh, or he who praises Yahweh, or he who is praised. Jeroboam, the people will contend. Then Joash, given by him, meaning Yahweh. And then Israel, there are many translations given to Israel. One is Elohim prevails, another one contender, or he who contends with Elohim, because that's the name that was given to him when he fought Elohim. Also a soldier of Elohim, a prince of Elohim, or he who will rule as Elohim. So all of those things that I said connected to the name Israel, because of the letters used to make the name. It ends in El, which that's why the mighty one, or Elohim, mentioned many times, but the first three letters are connected with prince, soldier, contender, and other things. So, and also a verb, as in he who will rule, like a prince will rule as king. So, as I read all of these meanings, would be the salvation is my well. Yahushua HaMashiach, the water of life, is through whom Yahweh sent salvation for our sins. So, the salvation is my well, whose strength is Yahweh. He is perfect, just like Yahushua HaMashiach completed all the Torah. So he is perfect, because that is pretty much the definition of complete, something which is perfect in Hebrew at least. So the salvation, which is my well, the water of life, is the strength given by Yahweh also, because we can do all things through Yahushua who strengthens us. So he is the strength of Yahweh that Yahweh gives us, and he who Yahweh strengthens. He who is perfect has become the possessor, or he has grasped the strength of Yahweh, because Yahweh made him like himself, because he is the Son, and he will be praised, or through Yahudah he came, but also he deserves praise because of the sacrifice that he was willing to give. And of course he himself said that Yahweh is greater than him. So Yahweh is the one also who tells us in the book of Revelation that Yahushua, because of what he did, deserves that praise, so that that name Yahudah could be seen as the tribe from which the Messiah would appear. That is being mentioned here as the salvation and the strength of Yahweh given to men, and also as he who will receive praise as the Son of Yahweh for eternity, who made others children of Yahweh also through his name, as written in John 1:11 and 12. And also the fact that through him and through his name we give worship to Yahweh. We praise Yahweh through the name Yahushua, because through the name Yahushua, through us saying that we believe what Yahushua did, we are saying that we believe that Yahweh fulfilled already several prophecies. We are saying that we believe that Yahweh resurrected Yahushua. We are saying that we believe that Yahushua came from Yahweh, and many other things that we see in scriptures that are critical, that are very important. So through our belief in Yahushua, we are praising Yahweh, because he sent his Son, and as it is written, honor the Son, pretty much in order to honor Yahweh, because if not, his anger will be destroying like fire. And I'm paraphrasing. If you guys want, I'll get the verse. But the point here is that Yahweh tells us in scriptures that he desired for humanity to give honor to the Son, because a parent, when he sees somebody, obviously not anybody who may be dangerous, but somebody being nice to one of his or her children, that person feels good, and all of a sudden starts seeing in a better way that person who is treating their children in a good way. So that's how Yahweh prepared everything. That's why he set apart. So he stayed in heaven, set apart, because he is spirit, he is invisible. So he appeared through his Son on earth, so that people would honor his Son, so that he would be able to see how people are treating him, because that is a sign of how they would treat him if they could, him Yahweh. So going back to the point of the names mentioned in the first verse, The salvation which is my well, the water of life, and the strength given by Yahweh is he who is perfect and who completed the law, who has grasped or has become the possessor of the strength of Yahweh, and who came from Yahudah, who is to receive praise, and through whom we praise Yahweh. Then the people will contend with whom Yahweh has given, or because of whom Yahweh has given. How people contend because they don't accept Yahushua, and they will contend because of what Yahweh will do with the two witnesses. When Yahweh sends the second manifestation, the last, as I have mentioned in many other studies, the people will contend with the two witnesses, and therefore obviously with the witness like Moshe, who is the last manifestation of Yahweh on earth, and therefore this will be fulfilled, because we saw how everything till this point fulfills with Yahushua HaMashiach, his first coming. And now the second coming could be seen from the part that it says the people will contend, or obviously we could also see the whole thing with Yahushua, with the fact that he came from Yahudah and the people hated him and killed him. So because of the fact that I had said already that he became the possessor of the strength which happened through his sacrifice, is that I mentioned first the interpretation of people will contend with the fact that the two witnesses will appear and the people will hate him, like it says in Revelation 11. So one could see the first and the second coming, but obviously the people hated Mashiach and wanted to kill him, most of the people, and at the end of his ministry, and that's why they killed him. So we could say that obviously that was fulfilled with Mashiach also. And then it says, after the people will contend with him who has been given by Yahweh, but yet Yahweh will prevail. But like I was mentioning, Israel has many meanings, and just like Yitzhak represents the first coming, Yaakov, who became Israel, represents the second coming, because he will have to fight the Elohim of this world. That's, like I mentioned, the name Israel was given to him when he fought Elohim. So it also could be translated as he who contends with Elohim. So just like the people contend with Mashiach, the true Mashiach, the last will have to contend with the Elohim of this world. So if we see Israel with the story behind it, and with the prophetical aspect of that name and that person and everything that Yahweh showed through his life, then we can see once again what I mentioned as the second interpretation of the people will contend with him whom Yahweh will give. In the second coming, Yahweh is coming as the thief in the night. People will see him as bad, because two reasons: people don't like thieves, and the second reason is in the night, so people won't even see him coming. Therefore, that means that they will have him in front of them and they won't realize who he is. And on the other hand, those who do see him will hate him, just like people hate a thief when they see him. So like a thief in the night, and also like a Gentile, not being a Gentile genetically, but a Gentile to the nations of nowadays who have everything upside down. So they call Jewish to people who live in Israel yet are not Israelites, because they do not come genetically from Israel, at least most of them, while many other people who do come from Israel are seen as Gentiles in the world because of the prophecies of Deuteronomy and the rest of scriptures of how they would be, Israel scattered among the nations for centuries, in those centuries, with the control of the powers that be over the nations, made it so that those Israelites would forget their identity, because that was their plan of the enemy all along. So that's why, just like people hated Mashiach on the first coming and killed him, now the last must come and fight the Elohim of this world, and that's why people will hate him and kill him, like we see in Revelation 11. So the people will contend with him whom Yahweh has given. Like I said, because he comes as a thief in the night, as a Gentile, as a lion, so he comes to bring wrath, not mercy. So people don't like that. They only want mercy. They don't want wrath. They want favor. They don't want knowledge. Really, most of them. I mean, they don't want. They want emotions. They don't want the intellect to grow through understanding, wisdom, and knowledge, and many other things that are necessary, because wisdom and knowledge are more valuable than silver and gold. Yet people want gold and silver when they pray most of the time in the world, I mean. So these names are very I believe revealing of both the first and the second coming. So I'm going to say it once again for the last time. Once for the first interpretation and once for the second interpretation, and then we'll go with the second verse of the book. The salvation is my well, the water of life, who is also the strength given by Yahweh, who is perfect and completed the law, who has grasped, come to possess the strength of Yahweh, as in also he perfected the law and he was sacrificed, and through his sacrifice he grasped the strength given by Yahweh. When Yahweh gave him life, he regained the strength mentioned through the name Hosea, because he is the well of life, the strength of Yahweh, who is perfect and completed the Torah, the law, who came to grasp through it, completing the Torah, the strength again, so he came to life, he resurrected. After coming through Yahudah and the people contending with him, hating him, killing him, who was given by Yahweh to Israel, to the people, as the prince who would rule as Elohim. That would be the first interpretation. Obviously, all of it has to do with Mashiach. Then the second interpretation would be the salvation comes through my well of life, which gives the strength of Yahweh and perfects and makes perfect, just like Mashiach is perfect. To be able to grasp the strength of Yahweh and praise Yahweh, yet the people will contend with the one he will give, the one he will send as the last, to contend with Elohim, to fight the Elohim of the world, who is the Sar, the prince, who will become the king, Melech HaMelechim, King of Kings. So, and also soldier of Elohim, meaning the one who comes to fight with a bow on a white horse. So, hope that's clear. We can see first and last in the same name.